friends. Well, I guess by the time you see this next weekend or soon, so right here I got my friends on Periscope, at Robin Black MMA on Twitter. You connect to Periscope. Somebody's like, I got Ortega winning against Cub. How dare you? But we'll talk about that. You can find that elsewhere on the YouTube channel. Now I want to talk about UFC Winnipeg. I've been mentioning this on the front of our Winnipeg clips. Sunday, December 17th, first ever Robin Black Live. Please tell your friends that are in Winnipeg, send them a message. There's a Facebook event page. Any help is appreciated. I want to fill it, and I want to really entertain people, and it's going to be amazing. But Misha Cirkunov versus Glover Teixeira, that's a big fight in Winnipeg. It's going to be a big fight. People are going to be way behind Misha. And I think that, and you know I don't make predictions. You know I don't. But I think we're going to see the best Misha ever. I really do. That experience was really important for him to have. You have these nights, right? You get clipped, you get rocked, or something happens, or the performance isn't quite right. That's big for an athlete's development. And Misha, what have we seen from him? Athletic, powerful. His jiu-jitsu is so insane. It's beautiful when you get, and I've got to see him in the gym. Sometimes I just sit there and watch it and go, how's somebody so big move like that? And the answer is insane amounts of hard work over long periods of time. There's almost never any other answer. If you look a few videos back here on the YouTube channel, you'll see me chatting with Fernand, who is Francis Ngannou's coach. And he talks about the combination of training a great athlete and the genetic advantages that some great athletes have and stuff. And some of that stuff will really apply to Misha as well. Misha's very special. And that I think going through that event, it's good to find out that you are human. When you're as talented and brilliant and hardworking and as good a martial artist as Misha is. It's an excellent experience because you are human. So is Francis Ngannou, whether you fucking want to believe it or not when you see him. He is a human being. And he can be knocked out, he can be submitted, he can be choked, he can be leg kicked, he can be dominated on the ground. Like, all of these things are possible for any of these brilliant athletes. And fighting is dangerous. That's the most obvious thing I've ever said, but it's also something that's easy to forget. What we're hoping for these athletes and these great artists is that they find comfort in there. They find like this, they don't live in a place of chaos and ultra stress. They find some comfort, but they don't want to find so much comfort in there that they forget about the danger. And I don't know that that's what happened to Misha, but I have no idea. But this will reinforce that. And then what you look for is that perfect spot in the middle where it's like, fuck, I am in a dangerous prize fight right now with a lot on the line. None of that matters in my mind. I'll be free to express myself in this dangerous environment, aware of it's dangerous, but free to express myself. And I really think that's where we'll see Misha. I think we'll see a patient Misha. I think we'll see a confident Misha. I think it'll be really good for him. The trick is to get Glover to the ground, but not feel like you must do it right away. And something that is a hard thing to discuss because you don't want to just fall into the typical conversations about it, is at what point is a fighter on his downslope? And I mean biochemically, physically. I mean his body. I'm 48 years old, and I've always had a great work ethic. Somebody's saying hi from the weight cut in UFC Fresno. Hey, Evan Boris, what up? Is Cub there? Cub's my man. Cheering for Cub Swanson, although I'm a huge fan of T-City. We got analysis somewhere else on this channel. Evan Boris, kickboxing coach, one of my closest friends. So when are these guys on the downslope? And when they are, do they make the adjustment necessary? Because we see 45-year-olds winning fights all the time. It's like, holy shit, how'd they do that? Oh, I was saying, I'm just using myself. Well, please tell them, please send them my love. I was just using myself as an example because I'm the person, you are the person you know best. You know your own body better than you fucking know Glover Teixeira's body. You might know your girlfriend or your wife's body very well, but you still know your own better. So the reference point that you can make in your mind when trying to explain something, how it feels to lose weight or how, is you. Then you have to make the comparisons to super athletes, to their diet and so forth. It's hard to do. But I know I work really hard, just as hard as I ever have in the gym, but I'm old now and I don't get as much out of it. And I don't grow as well and I don't get in shape as well and all these things. Glover's not my age, but he is in his 40s, right? Fuck. The time will come. I think it's 40s. Yeah, can you pull it up? I feel like Glover, I see a 4-0 when I've looked at his Sherdog or Tapology. If anyone doesn't use Tapology, it's really badass. Sherdog's great too. 38? I thought I saw a 4 there. No, 38 ain't, you know. What Misha or anybody else in this situation doesn't want to do is just assume that they're, and we've heard this many times, and I'll try to add an extra thought or two to it. People are like, I'm expecting the best Robbie Lawler ever. I'm expecting the best Glover Teixeira ever. Because if it turns out that they're not that, that's just a bonus. And anytime you're in a prize fight or any type of competitive environment, when you get a bonus, a gift, that's fantastic, right? 38 in dog years, somebody said. Yeah. Yeah, so 15 plus years, plus probably some before that, plus, you know, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rounds of sparring. It gets you. Is today the day? I don't know. Winnipeg's fucking cold. Misha's used to, and these things, man, we will try to get this, and when we interview Cormier and when we interview all the guys that we get this week, the effect of walking around frozen in a frozen tundra up in Canada will have on them. And it's dark as shit. Like, it's dark at 4:30 in the afternoon. It's dark, it's freezing, it's isolated, and those of us from there love it. It's home. We're good. It makes us, and these are the things that you say when you're from Winnipeg, makes us stronger, makes us more resilient, makes us pull closer together, makes us harder workers. We believe that, and maybe it's true. But to a guy from Brazil, although he's living in the States now, or somebody from California, this is going to be hard. It's going to be real hard. So I do not predict fights, because the more I learn about it, the more I realize how silly that is. Variable upon variable upon variable upon variable. What you're hoping to predict is how well somebody eats, sleeps, where their mind is at, what 3 human beings sitting there write down when they see something. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just a mechanism for television to, you know, try to get people engaged without making them think. And thinking's okay. So I don't do that. I also don't see the point in going, well, Misha's better on the ground, but, you know, Glover's top game is better, but, you know, striking, Glover has more experience, and you saw what he did against Ryan Bader that's all opinion. All I try to do is take whatever we can find and put it together. And a lot of that ends up being, how did they train? What did they learn? What happened? How old are they? Where's their mind at? These are the things that in reality are more pertinent aspects. Can Glover stop Misha from taking him down? Sure. Can he do it the 3rd time? I don't know. Can he do it if Misha is patient and gets in there and executes with a little less explosiveness and athleticism and a little more tricks and tactics? Probably not. Can he get back up when Misha does that? Maybe. When he does, can Misha take that back hip, ride it, or jump up and start threatening off the back like so many are doing? Probably. Can he defend that? I don't know. This is the reality. These are the truths. But I think somewhere in the game, we think, well, we need to do this or else people won't be interested. But I swear to you, if you keep thinking like you don't know, like what's going to happen? I don't know. Do you see Misha on the ground against this guy? Even if he's on top, Misha sweeps light heavyweights smoothly and effortlessly, right? It's fucking beautiful. So, and is Misha likely to be a slightly safer, less overly dangerously aggressive when they are starting out? Probably. Is that better? Probably. Right? All of these things we don't know. I'm sure everybody would have said, you know, well, Misha's better on the ground and Ozdemir better. None of that mattered on that night. What mattered was Misha got hyper aggressive and didn't respect the danger that he was in. And he got caught. That fucking will take you out of there every time. You know, Glover against, my favorite Glover performance is against Ryan Bader, because he's just getting ripped and he's just waiting and he's going to load up. I forget if it was the right hook or the left hook, but he threw either the 2-3 or the 3-2. And Was Bader doing the wrong thing? In retrospect, yes. But on any other night, no. Misha has been in Thailand for this, though, so that should be interesting to see. And, great, good point. And I have seen that. The danger of that is we don't want him to think he's a better kickboxer than this guy. This guy has been, you know, punching and kicking and training with high-level guys and sparring with Chuck Liddell since he was 18. We do not want that. So that can be a detriment if our coach makes Misha believe that his striking has advanced so much, but we don't want him to fear it enough that he panics. We want him to be in there, realize the danger, stay relaxed, he's very seasoned now, use that to find the time to get to him. Can't get him down with technique and skill. No problem, we'll go back, work off a reactive takedown. As the punch comes, go underneath, do it again. Doesn't work, stay calm, do it a third time or a fourth time. That's not working. Cleverly use your striking to get one underhook. Sometimes you can literally do it off a hook to an underhook, drive him against the fence. Let's test that out. We want Misha to be patient. And for Glover, he's smart too. He's very smart. He's looking at, and he might be thinking simply, which would be actually the right thing, or potentially the right thing. You look at this and go, that guy, I've seen some of the shit that guy does on the ground. I want no part of that. So I want to move my feet. We want him to be patient too. He wants to strike and back up, strike and step around, strike, land, move out to another side, strike again, make him chase, move this way. Patience. So don't expect, I almost said, that is a type of prediction. Don't expect this one to be explosive right off the bat. Logically, the answer to both guys, if you're cleverly looking at this and trying to figure out your best way to win, both guys would start out patient, and it would be a little bit of a boring fight to like the average audience who likes the things that they have been taught to like by having everyone be excited when that thing happens and having everyone be bored when that other thing happens. But it isn't boring to watch two guys, you know. There are human beings who watch chess. Those people just don't watch fighting, but they could. If we taught them what to see, they'd be like, holy fuck, I see what he's doing there. He's lulling him in. Oh, that's smart. He recognizes the threat and those things are fascinating. But if I'm Misha's guys, we'd love to submit this guy late second or mid third round. It'd be wicked. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. You hear this, you've heard it many times, oh, that loss will be the best thing that ever happened to me. This loss could be the best thing that ever happened to Misha. We don't want it to spook him, and it doesn't sound like it did. He probably went in and sparred a lot, which is great. But we also want it to be like, oh yeah, right. I'm in a fucking fist fight with guys that weigh 225, 230 pounds who've been fighting all their lives. Right, let's be smart. Good times, good times. Misha is a Canadian. I've trained with him. He's taught me all. When I took his classes, his jiu-jitsu classes, that guy teaches. I'm here at Budo MMA. My friends own this place, and we may be building a studio in here. But despite that, they love the people over at Extreme Couture, and so do I. And I can highly recommend, he does a lot of afternoon classes, or at least he used to, go fucking train with Misha Cirkunov, man. You'll learn some unbelievable things. And as light heavyweights go, there are very few with the kind of true supple skills that this guy has. And it's going to be fun to watch him do his thing. So of course, this is, my YouTube channel. I'm not employed by anyone here. I'm hanging out talking to my friends. So my bias is fine. If somebody paid me and sat me down at some Fox or TSN desk, I probably wouldn't say, yeah, this is a great guy, he's an amazing teacher, he's a Canadian, obviously we're human, we're probably, secretly cheering for him. But I am. And this is my private channel, just me and Mark, Same time, you gotta admire Glover Teixeira, truly admire him as a martial artist and a fighter. Both these guys are lucky to have this fight. They really are. And I hope they appreciate it. I hope we do too. That's it. See you guys in Winnipeg. Enjoy the hostilities, my friends.